Hi, I'm Mr. Miyagi and this is Mr. Miyagi's workshop. Well, you can see we got a little bit of stuff going on today. Bit of snow. Yeah, so about 22 degrees outside. Hence, I've got my ear warmers on. Anyway, I haven't been posting any videos for a while. Really haven't had anything that I thought would deserve a posting. But I think I've come up with something that will interest a lot of people. Now, whether you own a Harley or a Yamaha XS650 or a Honda 90 or whatever, we've got a project coming up, and it's going to be a series now on this project on building a little bobber chopper, whatever, out of a 1975 CB360. And the frame and everything will show up over here fairly soon. We're going to modify the stock frame, but right now we're working on whether this engine will fire up. It's been a while. The carbs are off. They need total cleaning, so we're just going to do a test to see if it'll start. And if it sounds like it's going to run, then we'll continue on with the project. So let's get to it. So what I got going on here is I got a decent battery, electric start. I tested it works on this. I've cleaned the spark plugs. I've cleaned the points. I've set up the old coils with a kind of an ignition system going on here. And I'm hoping that everything will work here. What we have going on here, we have some ether because I don't have any carbs on here, so I'm going to have to see if it'll fire up this way. So we'll give a couple of squirts. Okay, after putting the ether in, I've got the starter here. We're going to just do a hard start. So let's see if this thing will pop off. Might just do it. Promising. Do it one more time. See what we got going on here. I think it'll run. I'm going to check the compression and everything on it, but you can see it's kind of crazy. We're just using the ether to fire it up. Not the best way of doing it, mind you, but I wanted to see if it would fire up and run. And it sounds like it's going to do that. All right, so we're going to spin her over and see what we get here. And it looks like right around 50 pounds compression. That's not good. I got a feeling that it needs a little bit more. Usually these motors are about 150 pounds compression. So I'm going to do a test here. I'm going to squirt some fluid, oil, into the cylinder. And what this will determine, if that changes, that pressure changes, then that means that the valves are okay, but the rings are maybe be worn or something. So we're going to spray a little WD in here. Put this back in here. Now you can get these compression testers at the auto parts store. They'll come with a complete kit for different size diameter spark plugs that go into the cylinders here. And they're not that expensive. Let's try this again. Well, that only brought it up a few pounds more. So I got a feeling that the valves on this one, this side here, it needs a valve job. They're leaking past. So we've got everything set up here on cylinder number 2. and we'll do the test on it and see what we got. Oh, I got to clear it here. So on this one, we got just slightly over 100 pounds compression, which makes it a fairly decent cylinder. We can squirt a little oil into it and just see if that raises it anymore. Now that we've got oil in there, we'll see what happens. It raised it just a little bit, but I would say doing a valve job on this might really help it out. Looks like it's going to be a while before we get the carburetor parts. So I thought, what the heck? Why don't we rebuild the head on this and check out the cylinders while we're doing this whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and start taking this thing apart, and we're going to pull the starter off too on this one, you know, just to double check things out anyway. So I'm going to go into warp speed here and let's see if we can't get it done. Some of the stuff I've discovered on this is that this is a cylinder that was leaking. The exhaust valve looks pretty corroded up here. I need to pull it apart to check to see what condition these seats are in. I'll do both sides. Is that where the cam rides? This area is galled. It's like something got in there or I didn't get enough oil. I may be able to hone that out a bit and save that area. We'll just have to see. The cam shaft itself doesn't look too bad. All right, I stripped the valves out of the head here. The left side was the side that had the worst compression, and I was thinking maybe the exhaust valve, which, I mean, it doesn't look too bad, but I don't think it was seating all the way. And it could have been because of the buildup of exhaust, or that it was sitting out. And then the intake is okay. I mean, it's a bit carboned up and whatever. And the right over here looks pretty good. You got a fairly good seal all the way around. And if you look at the exhaust, it's better than the left side one, but not bad. And there was a little difference. This was pretty corroded up here. So one thing may have been too is that this one was burning a little bit more oil on this side. I don't know. I want to change the rings down in that cylinder there. You can see that it probably sat in that position right there. I'm hoping that honing the cylinder on both of them and then putting new rings in will help considerably. A little rubber mallet here. Oh, there we go. Not bad. I think what we'll do is that there's one reason right there. See that? This piston had broken compression rings. So that is where we were losing our compression, and the oil wouldn't affect it any. Remember when we put oil in the cylinder to see if we could get a little bit more goop out of it? Are you kidding me? Both of them are broke. Jeez. Both upper compression rings are broke on these. That is unreal. And the second compression ring on this cylinder, oh yeah. So it wasn't actually doing anything. You can see what I'm talking about here. This is not moving. This is what a good ring should act like. Should be able to move them around a little bit. The oil sleek ring on this almost is getting ready to seize up here, I'm wondering. Holy moly. Caught it in a good time, I'm thinking here. Yeah, that's why this side over here didn't have any compression. So like I said in the beginning on these, doing these compression tests, spray oil into the cylinders and hopefully seat the rings a little better so you get compression. Then you could find out whether it was leaking. But there's no way that this putting oil in the cylinder would help this at all. These rings are froze up. Well, isn't that just special? All right, so what I ended up doing is I ended up cleaning up this cylinder a little bit. I honed it. It looks okay. I'm going to try it again. I mic'd everything. Everything is within tolerances. I took the secondary compression ring off. It was rusty. You can see that. And that's why it was stuck on there. So I'm going to order a new set of rings for this, and the piston and everything looks good, and I'll clean them up. This one started to clean up nicely, but I'm still waiting on the gasket kit that I ordered for this already, and the carburetor kits. So when that stuff comes in, I will do some filming on putting the carburetors together, maybe even doing the valve job on this, cleaning this head up and whatever, and we might even have some rings. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But as always, if there's any questions or comments, you can put them in the comment section below, or you can send them to my email address at tmiyagi@hotmail.com. Now, if you've liked this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget that ringy-dingy button over there for the next episode coming up. So this is Mr. Miyagi saying, be safe out there, and hope to see you on the road. And by the way, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year!